In order to answer the remaining questions in the information specifications, your book tells you that you're going to have to use the advanced filter function, the pivot table, and the filter tools. In order to use the pivot table, the first thing you have to do is identify a table. When you set up a table in Excel, it treats it like a database, and then you're able to use the database functions. So highlight your table on the weekly productivity report, including the column headers. Select Insert and Table, and that's all you have to do. I've already selected mine. The next thing we're going to do is to set up the advanced criteria. We need to insert rows, if you don't have rows here already, and copy and paste the column headings and identify a second line, a second row, so that you can actually enter the criteria there. In order to do this with absolute cell addresses and to make it just simply easier, you're going to name this range. So you're going to select New and select this range, A3 to I believe it's L4, and name the range criteria. By the same token, we have to identify the database, and that is actually the table that we've set up, but it's going to include the headers. So you're going to select New and Database, and you'll see that it selects the entire table. So now you can use those range names when you set up the criteria. So for example, in the advanced function, let's say we want just the department furniture, and anywhere the commission is greater than the least commission. We can go to the Data tab, select the advanced filter function. The list range will be database. Criterion range is criteria. And you'll notice that it actually reduces or shows only the filtered functions by the advanced filter. The problem that you see is when we filtered this, sales does not equal 729,000 anymore. Sales, in fact, equals only 342,000. So we use the regular sum function here, you probably did, and instead of doing that, we want it to actually be the dsum function, the daverage, dmin, dmax, because we want these values to change if we change what we're showing in the database. Essentially, we're doing a query, and in our query, we only want the totals of the values that meet the query criteria. So you can clear your filter, clear the values that are there, and change your sum to dsum. That's the database sum. It asks you for something called the database. We named a range the database. They're not the same thing necessarily. You could have named the range salespeople. You could have named it anything, but we happen to have named a range database. And there it is. The field that we want to identify here is the sales field, identified by the column heading. You have to include that in quotation marks. And then it asks for criteria. Where is your criteria? Our criteria happens to be in the named range criteria. And there it is. Close the parentheses. And now you have the same number when the entire table is displayed, the entire database. But let's say we want to see again what we did. We just want the department to be furniture. Apply our advanced filter, and now your sales total is going to be correct for the filter. So you're going to want to change all of these to the database sum, daverage, dmin, and dmax.